Okay, so now we're live on YouTube. Before we start, I will explain a few things about Talk and Talk, okay? So we are a conversation platform where you can come here, schedule meetings in a lot of languages. We have English, that's what we're using today. We have Spanish, Italian, French. So you can schedule the language that you want, the time that you want, everything on our website, okay? Today we're talking about social learning theory, and let's start with the first question. So, Ricardo, who had the most influence on you during the ages 0 to 8, 8 to 12, 12 to 18 years old?
I believe that's the parents, né? Certainly, né? In the attitudes too. So.
Perfect. But would you say it'll be your mother or your father? The most influence.
I believe that both depends on the parents. I believe, but I don't know. But they are they provide influence. I don't know, and the same situation.
Perfect. And in your case, Murilo, who had the most influence on you during these ages?
Yeah, my dad, make sure. My dad always say for me, I wanna you study more than I and work more than I wanna you better than I in my professional lives, for example. Yeah, and having your personal lives too. I mean, nowadays I try to improve myself with my mood, with my family, having my girlfriend in the future, yeah, or my wife, yeah. It's very important improve yourself because it's make part for you human, yeah, improving, yeah, always, yeah, that's it. My that's.
Yeah, I guess with boys
my
it's always that.
My mom as well in about another things, for example, respect each other's education, yeah, understands everyone and different behaviors, kind of stuff in general about education.
Yeah, I think like with boys, it's more common for them to follow the father, and girls, it's more common to follow the mother. Like they influence more. The mother influences more the girl, and the father influences more the boy, because they see themselves as, like in their parents, right?
Yeah,
And I think that's what
yeah.
happens. Perfect. So Ricardo asked it for a minute, so I will ask you the question number 2. Okay, Murilo?
I'm back.
Hello, Ricardo. We are going to question number 2. So, Murilo, who do you think has the most effect on the way you behave now?
What most effect? What person? Yeah.
Yeah,
What
who do you think has the
I
most
live
effect?
in a different place or when I know different peoples, yeah, because people have different knowledges in your lives, yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah, how I said before, I try to open my mind and just enjoy the journey, yeah. Always I try to focus myself and control myself, yeah, and avoid different bad things, yeah, because and what about the question, who do you think the most effective we have now? Okay, now, yeah, it's about now, yeah, who?
Yeah, nowadays, like in general, who would you say has the most effect on you?
Yeah, some friends, yeah, some friends that work in the same area than that and it's my influence a lot, yeah. I try to improve with them and searching or looking that their learnings a lot, yeah, they're improving, yeah, in many technology, some friends, and yeah, I think it's some friends different areas in sports, in technology, and others. I can't remember now, but that's it.
Each person in one different area,
Yeah,
right?
everything about my friends. Yeah, it's the near me.
Perfect. And you, Ricardo, who do you think has the most effect on the way you behave now?
Uh, it's difficult to tell about, even in Portuguese.
It's a difficult topic. It's a college
Yeah,
subject.
I don't know. Oh, I believe that's uh, a lot of things. A lot of things. I believe that is not possible to divide or separate your life because is we are like a puzzle, and one piece is affected by your parents, another part about affect is was affected for your family, friends, environment, and so is we are so complex, I believe. Because of that, is we are influenced for television, news, a lot of, and there are a essence, because the people are different to each other. Some person are more sensible, more touch for specific things. For example, I used to say that there are some persons like to do radical sports, and the another persons when arrive close to, I don't know, precipício, they fall. So it's the people are different, and a lot of times it's not possible to understand the situation. Oh, this person don't have any kind of trauma, but he have fear from higher, I don't know. So in this case, I believe that's not possible. Just tell one thing. I believe that is a lot of different situations could influencing our lives, I believe.
So you wouldn't say like one person has the most effect, like we are a little bit of everyone. That's it.
Yeah.
Perfect. I would say that who has the most effect on the way I behave now would be my mother, because like because she raised me, right? And then I have her thoughts, because when I was a child, she told me a lot of things, and then I still behave that way. So I would say that's my mother, and a little bit of my father too, because they both raised me, but mostly my mother. And then have the most effect in the way I behave now. Like I started studying English because they asked me to, and now I love English because they asked me to study English. So like I think they have a huge effect in the way I behave now. So
Sometimes my mom said some keywords that I put in my mind and I get for my lives, and I try to avoid different things in my life. Yeah,
So
when
she
I
has an effect, right?
any the bad situations. Yeah, I try to avoid it when I remember my mom said.
Moms
Harry
know
said,
best. They
yeah,
know everything.
yeah.
Perfect. So let's go to question number 3. How much of the way you think it's affected by social learning? Like the way you behave, how much of the way you behave do you think it's affected by social learning? I created this question because, like, we think, personally, I think that nowadays people are really affected by social learning because they see things online, they read things online, they just repeat. I guess the biggest example are like TikTok or Instagram tips that we see. I've seen that doing this on my kitchen will be great. And then we want to copy. So like it's the social learning theory. We just copy what we see on social media. So I think not only me, but everyone are highly affected by social learning, in my point of view. But let's see yours. What do you think, Murilo? How much of the way you behave do you think it's affected by social learning? How much do you copy from others?
Yeah, interesting question.
Mhm.
People sometimes compare your lives to another people's lives, yeah. And for example, if another people buy a big house, I want a big house as well. Yeah, and if people uh, afford on a BMW, I want a BMW as well. It's kind of stuff. Yeah, it's crazy, and it's becoming person bad. Yeah. Mm, and it's, let me see. Yeah, it causes a disaster. Yeah, sometimes your brain, your mind, yeah, your thoughts. Sometimes you don't live and well, yeah, and it's a big problem in society nowadays. Yeah, has there are so many professionals for helps these people. Yeah, yeah, I think you growth a lot, yet, yeah, because it's affecting different things, yeah, like how I said, the house, clothes, and the materials. For example, I can't afford an BMW, but I go into the debt for buying a BMW, and
Because other people
it
have one, right?
turning a lot of bills in my life. Sometimes I don't pay these bills, yeah, and these accumulation problems.
Mhm.
It's
Because
not,
just because you want to copy other people.
yeah, it's not so good for everyone.
Totally true. I totally agree with you. It's something that is in our lives, right? We copy not only children, but adults too. We just
Yeah,
copy,
it's
copy,
important.
copy.
People's grateful for everything, and I'm grateful every day. Yeah, when you already have, yeah, it's yeah, it's the key for open your mind and keep it, yeah, live is calm and lives well.
Of course. That's totally true. Because, like, we see there are a lot of people that are in a better position than us. They have, like, BMWs, they have, like, mansions.
Yeah,
But there are a lot of people without cars, without houses, without, like, health. So we need to
yeah.
be grateful for that.
You said in that you said, I remember an important point. For example, this sometimes these people's already so much time in studying, working. Yeah, these people are already past the different challenges in your lives. But I am begin now. Yeah, I have so much so many steps in my life for achieve this dream as well. Yeah, I start and now and different times, yeah, in different persons, yeah, that kind of stuff. You understand, you know?
Uh-huh. Of course. It's a step by step, right? We keep
Yeah,
evolving.
yeah.
Perfect. And you, Ricardo, what do you think? How much of the way you behave do you think it's affected by social learning?
I was talking with a friend of mine about this situation, and well, sometimes I noticed, I observed some people, for example, uh, a particular person made a trip I don't know, and he was on vacation, and I don't know, 20 days, for example, and he made a trip during, I don't know, 5 days or maybe, and I don't know, he traveled to Paris, for example, and probably this guy's he took a lot of pictures. I don't know, 1,000 pictures. I don't know, and but certainly they he don't post the hundreds photos or 1,000 photos. The only post probably he insert these photos, and he was posting during a lot of days. So suddenly this situation, for example, this guy posts 3 photos, after some while more 4 photos, and after some while more 3 photos, and during, I don't know, a month or a month and a half. So suddenly this appears or transmit a message that this guy was traveling eternally. So a lot of people could influenced by this situation. What happened? Why this guy was traveling during so much time or something? And the other situations I could correlate if then because a specific person, a particular person could, for example, I don't know, go to a restaurant or another dance club or something, and they put on the internet, and so there is appearance that this guy is eternally happy. Oh, just fun, just a lot of situations, and certainly, I believe that there are persons that became sad because of that. Why? What happened? Why this guy live on eternally fun, and me, I have to work, I have to do a lot of different situations. So in this case, it's not exactly a wrong situation, because this person just wanted to show or wanted to share for another people a situation that he loved, and he enjoyed a lot, and they wanted to share it in these photos or these situations for another place, another people. For me, for example, it's not really influencing me, because I don't use much social media, and I know that situation like that. I actually I could tell that is situation like that never influenced me, because it's not possible for anyone tell that TV or another situations don't influence you. Certainly, your family, your friends, the environment influence you every time. So, but I believe that's the people that use social media or any other people have to search deep inside, and they try to reflect for another's values. Okay, that's nice. You have to fun and have to enjoy your free time. That's okay. That's really nice. But is not a eternally conditional. So in this case, you have to have resilience about the situation. I have to work. I have to pay my bills. I wasn't born rich. So in this case, I don't know, do therapy or search another's values in your life, read books or different topics to provide better values, I believe.
Of course. And we have this thing like the neighbor's grass is always greener, right? We see people on Instagram traveling, having fun,
exactly.
but we think that their lives on Instagram, it's like that, and it's not. What we post on Instagram, it's what we like. When we were happy, when we were traveling, when we were eating a nice restaurant. We don't post when we are working, when we're sad, when we are like having problems with health.
Exactly.
So we need to think that the person who is posting those things, they have problems too. They need to work. They need to live like normal people.
We tell about social media, but I could tell about movies or about just books, because normally the most books or that are romantic stories, and at the end normally they put the famous phrase, they live happy forever.
Happily ever after.
Yeah. So in this case, I believe that the book finishing in this situation, but I would like to know about it. I don't know, 5 years later, probably this couple broke it or have a lot of.
Oh my God, how tragic!
Yeah, it's normal, no? It's normal. They argue a lot during these 5 years. A baby was born, and they have to divide your free time if another's complications, another's challenges. So it's how to say, it's a normal life. It's everyone have to face situations like that.
That's totally true. Everybody has challenges, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So we need to overcome them. There's no option. That's life.
Yeah.
Perfect. So let's go to question number 4. What skills have you learned from watching videos or listening to podcasts? Because like if you watch a video or listen to a podcast, if you learn something by that, it's social learning theory, because you are copying someone, right? Someone is just saying to you how you should do something, and then you just copy it. And if it works, it's social learning theory. So, Murilo, what skills have you learned from watching videos or listening to podcasts?
Oh, always learning. And I try to separate different things, yeah, for example, good and bad things. And, I try to get always good things. Yeah, I love watching podcasts, YouTube movies. I watch it every day. Yeah, in my life about emotional intelligence. Yeah, about technology, about everything, but I always put my subtitles in English for training my skills in English. Yeah, speaking and listening.
That's the tip.
Very important. Yeah, but nowadays I just watching English. Yeah, not put the subtitles more. I try to avoid listening Portuguese only. I read some books in Portuguese, but nowadays my focus in English. Yeah, it's really English.
Perfect. It's nice to hear that, because I am really proud. I love when students say that they are putting movies in English without subtitles, with subtitles in English, reading books in English. I feel really proud. I love that.
But,
really good. Congratulations, Murilo.
But I remember well in the past, I watched a lot of movies and videos and books about the emotional intelligence, how I behaviors, my own behaviors, yeah, and in my area, in my life, which with each other, with my family, with my friends, how I do for improving myself, yeah, and how I becoming a professional better, personal better, yeah, how I respect each other more, yeah, and so many words, keys words, yeah, and it was made I improve so much, yeah, in my own behaviors. Yeah. Nowadays, I bought one course that talks about the important use your time, the most time for get knowledge, yeah, not the bullshit, yeah, avoid the bullshit, use the bullshit in a little times, but the most time you use it for get knowledge, get important things. Even you when you driver, put in your radio podcast in English or in knowledge in general, good knowledge for improve yourself. It's the key.
Perfect. And that's it. It's improved a lot also our emotional intelligence. Because when we know a lot
Yeah.
about things, I feel calmer. When I know things, not it's not related to only emotional intelligence, but like when I know I was useful that day, I did a lot of things, I learned, I could understand, did exercise, I feel better, I feel calmer, and then it helps my emotional intelligence too. So it's good for every aspect of your life to
Yeah, for
learn new
example,
things.
when I receive hard tasks in my job, or when I have big challenge, I try to keep calm and searching or looking for information that resolve this problem. Yeah, and I remember very well when I was in my old job, for example, my boss passed it for me or delivered for me on a hard task, for example. Someone he talks for everyone for outing. Everyone achieve. Everyone can get this task. I think was task is and was develop a payment peaks. Yeah, when I peaks started. Yeah, in the tools in the e-commerce, and I talk no, I can develop it, but it I in myself, I in my side of me, I was thought, yeah, it's very hard, but I will achieve it. Yeah, I will achieve
Mhm.
it, and searching, looking, and asking for my friends that have knowledge about it, and I achieve this developing this task.
And it worked,
Yeah.
right? Perfect. That's it. It's to learn new things. And now I guess for you, it'll be easier for you that, right? Basically, that's life.
It's important how and TALKNTALK said, make mistakes because make mistake is and was improving yourself. Yeah, it's very important to make mistakes ever.
Always. We learn from that. Personally, I learn the best with mistakes because I hate to make mistakes. And when I get one thing wrong, I know what I got wrong and I try to make it better. So I don't like mistakes, but I learn from them. So
Yeah.
that's it.
Inevitable. Yeah.
Inevitable.
Yeah.
Exactly. Anyway, Ricardo, what skills have you learned from watching videos or listening to
Ah.
podcasts?
My wife and my kids complain a lot with me because I love watching. uh, they they just they just like songs or essentially songs, huh? And me, I love watching interviews and the news, politicians, politics too. And well, I have I signed some podcast channels and YouTube channels, and so normally I love watching videos, interviews essentially, and I love this the format that the guys tell about a news, and the how do you say, made the comments about this news, explain some things or something like that. But about English, I confess I'm a little tired about English. Yeah, certainly. Normally, I used to watch or participate to 20 hours, 20 not, I'm sorry, 10 to 12 hours by week and on TALK, and I prefer in my free time do classes on another topic, for example, technology and some things. Or essentially, I prefer just fun, watch movies or some situations, because, well, I don't have reasons, because my life is wonderful, but sometimes I don't know what happened, but sometimes I prefer just search by fun on the internet, so, but in the I believe that's the best situation for me. That's I love news and something. So in this case, I keep up to date if the situation on Brazil and the other parts of this world. But for example, as Murilo told, how do you say, emotional intelligence and the others topics around this, for example, positive things, that's the guys, oh, I don't know, use block sun or something. Certainly I do, it's not a excuse, but I'm a little tired about this situation, like that, some gurus or others guys, and well, maybe someday I became better about the situation and they come back to watch videos like that, but nowadays I'm a little exhausted about videos like that. For example, there are TED or on others channels. Sometimes I watch videos from some topics I watched, but about topics like that, I prefer don't watch, essentially.
I know the feeling because I hate coaches. Eu odeio coach, gente. So like for me, it's something that really I don't like. And then I like to know about emotional intelligence because I need I need to take medicine for anxiety. So I need to have like my emotion established.
Yeah.
And then I like to know about that, but like how to make more money in 2 years. I don't like those things. I think it's
Yeah,
boring. I hate, so that's it.
yeah. There are a lot of professional, serious person,
Mhm.
and I believe in coaches and others persons, but a lot of them, I believe that the coach became or guys that give advices on internet. First of all, there are uh, really good professionals, but nowadays I believe these situations like that became so common. There are coach to, how do you say, emagrecer, or a lot of different
To get
situations.
thinner.
Uh, Coach to English, coach for everything, and so I believe that I watch a lot, and nowadays I became a little exhausted, I believe.
No, but if the person is like they have the knowledge, I don't think it's a problem. But we see a lot of people nowadays that they don't know nothing about nothing, and they just record videos and say, I am a coach of this, and that, and then you need to follow my tips to get money or to have a better life. And I hate when these things happen because they are just selling dreams. They win money selling dreams. Eles ganham dinheiro vendendo sonho. Because it's not true. They are not telling the truth because they don't know, right? So that's why I don't like coaches. I don't like them. So let's go to question number 5. If you need to learn something new, what is your favorite way to do it? So Murilo, if you need to learn something new, what's your favorite way to learn it?
What's the form I get the information, I fix my mind, for example,
Mhm.
and I try to annotate in my, how do you say, caderno,
Notebook.
a notebook, yeah, and review after that, review before I sleep. For me, it's function a lot, and yeah, in my case, I always annote and review and again, and having, yeah, it become normal in my life. Yeah. For example, I try to improve my vocabulary, English, and new words. I annotate these new words, and I review every day. Yeah, before I sleep. And, yeah, now I I am I'm reading books and in tal voice. For
Mhm.
example, I read books in English, yeah, for uh, improve my pronunciation. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's helping me a lot, and know about new words and improve my pronunciation.
It's really good to
Yeah,
read out loud. It's really good.
yeah,
Because we see that like with kids. Because kids, when they are trying to learn Portuguese, that is our native language, they read out loud first, right? And then they read like in a low voice. And then when you read out loud, you really read, you improve a lot your English. That's really good. That's really good.
yeah. It's curious because when I go running, for example, I I was thinking about the English in the different words that I learned in a
Mhm.
little times ago, for example, yeah, a couple times
Mhm.
ago. Even when I surf, yeah, stay in my mind different knowledge in English, and I was thinking about it. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's
We keep
funny.
remembering it,
Yeah,
right?
remember a lot. Yeah,
I know how it is. It's really good. And it's
yeah,
nice because we don't forget the new words.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That,
That's
and the
it.
movie in the past he talks about it, yeah, as well.
Totally true.
Yeah.
And you, Ricardo, if you need to learn something new, what is your favorite way to do it?
When Murilo was talking, I thought about my child because she read 12 books this year, and he loves reading books, and I never read books. I never read books. I don't know. I read a lot of things every day, and lately I don't have patience to read books. But I believe that my favorite way to learn things is watching videos. No? My wife, I believe that I uh, have told about my wife. She have two brains. No? One of the control the body, and another brain to memorize things. No? So she have a wonderful memory. I don't know what happened, but how do you say? Naturally, she learned how to fix things in our head. In case of my wife, she normally take notes about a certain situation. There are, I don't know how do you say in English, but there are 3 or 4 ways to memorize things. Is synestésico, visual. There is a person that learn or fix in your brain when listen things. So in this case, it's necessary to discover, and it's not anything wrong when you watch videos. No? A lot of young people learn to a lot of different things on social media and watching videos on YouTube. There is a Khan Academy, for example, there are a lot of different content, maths and the sciences in general. So I don't know if the best way for me is watching videos, but uh, nowadays, as I told you, I'm a little exhausted about learnings and a lot of things, né? Because well, I'm graduating in engineering. I have an MBA in project management, and I have course to 2 years the networking and the electronic and the computer science, and I have these courses like free courses, not free courses, fast courses, takes a couple of hours a day or a week or a month. Courses like that, I have more than 100. Certainly, I use a worksheet, and any kind of courses I put on this worksheet, and I don't know. I continue studying because it's necessary. But nowadays, I how do you say? I try to use videos or other situations that don't become so tired, like for example read books or something. I could focus better when I watch videos than another kinds. No? So I read documents and all those things too, but I prefer use videos, not because it's the best way to learn, but because I became less tired when they use this method.
Yeah. And also they are faster, right? To watch a video is faster.
Maybe,
Most
maybe.
of the times it's faster than read a book. right? So like you can learn more things in a short time. So I think it's I like to watch videos too. I like to watch like video classes on YouTube about topics that I need to learn from college or anything else. So they're really good. So guys,
Yeah,
let me start.
I don't tell about English, but I very appreciate the Murilo when the was talking about he watched videos without subtitles, but and other things. But I can't.
Why
They,
not?
I don't know what happened. I face a lot of difficulties to learn English, and when I try to watch videos, normally I use subtitles in Portuguese, and they correlate the speech with the subtitles.
Mhm.
But it's so exhausted for me watch videos and put subtitles in English. A lot of parts I understood, but I prefer watch the same video a lot of times and the short videos. For example, friends that have just 20 minutes or other kind of because Friends is so popular and there are a lot of meanings. There is the subtitle in Portuguese in English and the explain through expressions, so it's easier. But there are others too. No?
Mhm. No, Friends is really good for English learning, the TV show,
Yeah.
because the vocabulary it's not that hard, it's a comedy, so it's like it's light. So it's really good. I don't like Friends, but I know I recognize it's really good
Shame of
for
you.
yeah, but I know it's really good for English learning. And so I tell people to watch Friends even though I don't like it. That's it.